Good morning, friends. You got gourd. You're hurting hippie. You know that. And it is Sunday, and the hurting hippie is bothered. I'm bothered. I'm bothered, and I gotta share it with you. I know you all don't lean to the right like I do. I just lean to the right. I will not say I am conservative, or I am libertarian, or I am anarchist. I am just a right-leaning, logic-driven guy. Now let's get on to, you already read the title, you cheater. Uh, the hypocrisy of the left amazes me. Now, first let me start by saying, I am not saying the right does nothing wrong. The right has done some wrong in the past and will continue to do so. We all make mistakes. However, the left has basically started to absolutely destroy people who make mistakes and are right-leaning, and to ignore, obfuscate, and even make excuses for those who do the same but are on the left, the protected left. Now, I understand we have the major leading nation in North America, the United States of America, in fact, the leading nation of the world, that has a right-leaning government, which means opposition will lean left. I get that. But, oh my goodness, there's got to be some shame to most of the logical left to even say they're left anymore. Now, I actually only had two to talk about, two specific ones that are really strong points of, my goodness, this is not the same thing. One of these things is not like the other. I actually have a third now, but let's start with Roseanne Barr. Let's start with her. I wouldn't necessarily call her the right, but she has made fun of the left so long that they just assume she's an enemy. What she did, her tweet, was beyond the pale. Beyond the pale. And I 100% support any non-public company, any private company, to make a decision that they don't want someone controversial, especially after something like that. So the firing of Roseanne, the ending of her show, maybe the bringing back of her show with her dead, that kind of thing. You step in dog shit, you get dirty feet. She deserved it. She got it. And so it shall be. But then, somebody like Peter Fonda, a protected class. Not only is he left, but he's an entertainer. Not much of a one, but he comes out and he volleys off things much worse than Roseanne ever said. Roseanne made fun of an adult who has every opportunity to fight back. Peter Fonda suggested taking the president's son, who is under a decade old, and putting him in the cage with a pedophile. I don't want to go too much further, but he also suggested doing the same with his wife and Kirsten Nielsen. And, that wasn't beyond the pale. That was rude and uncalled for. And he gets away with an apology. His movie, Sony is still pushing forward with his new movie. He hasn't financially paid for that blunder one single bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I support free speech. Free speech means protecting the dumbest, stupidest ideas as being allowed to be said, as long as you don't incite violence. His was on the edge of inciting violence, but even if you don't go there, his was allowed to be said, but there should be consequence equal to the consequence of anyone else making a similar mistake. But there is such a blatant hypocrisy between if you do something and you're a right-leaning person, or if you do something and you're part of the protected class. So let's take example 2. The left goes crazy over the Supreme Court standing up for a baker to make the decision of whether he bakes a cake for a gay wedding or not. Religious freedom. I support that right to refuse. I do. But the left have spent the last many years going after, and in fact that's why the Supreme Court stuck up for this one, was they were going after specific bakers that they knew would say no, so they could have a lawsuit and bring it forward. Then they support what happened 2 days ago, where Sarah Sanders, the press secretary for the White House, got refused to be fed at a restaurant because of her politics. It's the exact same thing. Now, I support if that owner of that place, I don't remember the name of it, I don't care. If that owner wants to get known as somebody who only serves people on the left, so be it. His business will either suffer or boom because of that decision. That's his right to make that decision. He's got the right to refuse service to anybody. But the left has to understand that that right goes beyond protection of left ideas. It just goes to protection of people. I want the hypocrisy to change. I want to just have a beautiful world where we all accept that people will make mistakes. We don't have to bury them because of their mistakes, and we don't have to protect those who make mistakes that shouldn't be protected just because of their politics. Let's get the politics out of it. Politics is 5% of a person's psyche, or 2%, or 7%, but it's not a big frickin' number. We have so many other things that you and I don't agree on all of this. You and I do not agree on everything political, but we sure agree on a whole swath of other things. There are so many things in this life that we do agree on. Let's aim for that, and let's start calling out the hypocrisy and realize when we ourselves are being hypocritical, and not get mad at those who point it out. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Oh, and the news will be a little late today. I got my son inside. I don't do the news with him around. I'll wait till he goes home, and then I'll do the news for you. So this afternoon, hippie news. Peace, cheers, love, harmony.